New Mexico, what is up? This is your host, Adam Merrick. It is Ring Awareness, episode 13, and I am doing my best to continue bringing you the latest happenings from the wrestlers of New Mexico. And today is no different because I've got one of the fresher-faced guys from the 505 from New Mexico joining me here. Give it up for...
Hey, Adam, I don't need you to introduce me. I can do myself. It's the one and only DeanMeister, the head of the Deans, Ryan Dean himself. Not from the 505, but from the 315 Miami. Now get that right, Adam. Just because I live out here in New Mexico doesn't mean I'm Mr. 505. I want these fans to know that for sure. And then all the ladies out there, what's up? What's up? How's it going? I hope you ladies are looking beautiful and gorgeous, and I hope to see you here pretty soon. First off, Adam, I want to apologize. I was a little late, but on the way here, there's a car wash, girls in bikinis, Ryan Dean.
I don't blame you.
Definitely got to make that stop there. I know you have questions for me, Adam, but I don't like your questions. I was looking over them. You're going to ask the questions I want you to ask me about. Definitely about the Deans of Chaos, the current, first time ever XCW champions.
Right.
Chaos, Ryan Dean. We're the longest reigning XCW Tag Team Champions, too. Get that straight as well.
Okay.
Just because we're the first, we are the longest.
No argument.
Definitely want you to ask me about my career, what I'm doing, what I have in the future, what I'm looking most forward to. So I'll let you talk a little bit there, Adam, but just remember, you're in the room with me, and you paid me to be on your show because I told you no, and you wanted me. And I said I wanted to be lucky number 13 because the Friday 13 was yesterday, and you paid me to be here. So start your questions.
All right. Well, Ryan Dean, thank you so much for having me on your show, Ring Awareness. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Respect there.
Well, dude, like you mentioned, you're XCW, one half of the Tag Team Champions. There's your belt you brought with you. That is a nice piece of gold right there, buddy.
Dude, with this belt, it shows the reflection of my face so well.
Does it?
My hair. Perfecto.
There you go. It looks good on your shoulder there. We'll get into that here in a minute. But first, let's talk about your beginnings, man. What decided to make you pursue this career as a professional wrestler?
Definitely been a big fan since I was a kid. I used to watch with my older brother and my dad when I was younger, and just went from there. Been my dream since I was probably 6, 7 years old. And I never stopped fulfilling it. I went into doing Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, just getting a fighting background, and finally got into the whole wrestling scene. And definitely, the belt doesn't lie. I'm a champion, so apparently I'm good.
There you go.
I'm not good. I'm great.
Oh, well, I know that you started off as how early? When did you start watching the product? About what was it during like the Attitude Era?
Definitely during the Attitude Era. Shockingly enough, I wasn't a big WWF fan when I was a kid.
Really?
I was more of a WCW guy.
Okay.
I just didn't like how WWF always brought in some nobodies kind of style, and like the big guys, Hulk Hogan is fighting this guy that you never seen before. I was like, well, of course he's gonna win. No one wants to watch that.
Yeah.
Let me go watch WCW so I can see Sting and Ric Flair wrestle each other on TV and not have to wait till that pay-per-view.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I was the exact same way, dude. I liked watching WCW. Well, I grew up WCW fan, and I moved over to WWE, obviously. So you have quite a background. I know briefly you did some MMA. As far as that and the other stuff that you did, how did that help you make the transition to eventually pursue a career as a professional wrestler?
Condition, cardio, and having that attitude.
Nice.
Definitely one of the big things. I loved my MMA when I was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The workouts were tremendous, hard workouts. Definitely have to 100% be dedicated to that. Exact same thing for wrestling. But I found out the training that I've done in wrestling has been 10 times harder than the training I've done in MMA.
Really?
My day starts off at 3:30 in the morning. I'm at the gym by 4, and then I go to work. From work, I'm back at the gym by 4 o'clock in the afternoon to lift. Cardio's in the morning, lifting's in the afternoon, and then from about 6 all the way till sunset, I'm in the ring training with my boy Chaos.
Wow. And this is a week, every day you're doing this.
Every day. And then, also to throw in there, I do tan ladies because I got to make sure I look good for you with the muscles and the cuts. But every day, Monday through Friday, we travel on the weekends, and if we're not traveling on the weekends, we definitely have our trainings on the weekends too. So it's an everyday thing, trying to stay in the best of shape, best ring shape as well. So I noticed coming from MMA to wrestling, I was not in the greatest shape with the ring, hitting the ropes, picking up someone's body weight, throwing it down, knocking them out, and then he knocks me back down and having to pick up my weight. I'm 205, so that's not a light kind of thing to pick up there, So definitely doing all that was a lot harder, and I'm glad I got into it.
So that's your training schedule now, man. You're training every single day. Let's start from the beginning. As far as you eventually decide to make the jump, you decide to train to be a pro wrestler. I know who you contacted, but what steps did you take to eventually reach out to get trained to be a professional wrestler?
Well, when I first started off, most like other people, we know there's wrestling schools that you have to go to definitely get trained. You can't just, go in your backyard and become one of those backyard tards that everyone likes to say they're professional wrestlers on. No, definitely contact people. I didn't know where to go look or anything. We definitely didn't know there was anything out here in New Mexico myself. So started looking, I was contacting Florida Championship Wrestling before it turned into NXT.
Oh, wow.
They're telling me that's $3,000 for a session and this and that, but that's only if you can pass. And I was like, well, that's a lot of money. And then just went in the back of the head, continued living my life. And then one day I was at the gym lifting, and I saw on the little sign that says, do you want to be a professional wrestler? Do you think you have what it takes? And I looked at my cousin, and I was like, bro, it's my calling. God is finally saying, dude, do it.
Your sign.
Yeah, exactly. And called the number, and it was my tag team partner, trainer, Chaos, of course. And he's all, yeah, sure, come on down. Went down, picked up everything right away. I'm probably one of his first students ever to pick up everything in an instant, which I gladly, thank all my MMA stuff in the background with the rolls and this and that to help me pick it up right away. But that's how I got into it, and started training from there. And I've seen a lot of guys come to Chaos. We like to call it the Chaos Factory. But we've seen a lot of guys come and go. They think they can be a wrestler. They think they can hang high, and they get out of it within a week, or they never come back.
Right. They'll show up to that one training, maybe a couple, and
exactly. And Chaos tries to say, it's us because we're intimidating because you got Tindo doing the 450 splash, and I'm over here doing all my crazy high flying stuff too, and they're like, I want to do that, but you got to learn the basics first. So
of course.
He says we scare them off, but truthfully I just think they can't hang because they're out of shape. They don't take it serious like I took it serious.
Yeah, I think that's a huge misconception, man. A lot of people just show up, they want to do the 450s and the splashes right away without learning the basics. And again, you've only been wrestling for roughly about 2 years?
3 years. I've been actually doing shows now for around 2 years. I've been wrestling closer to 3 years. My trainer Chaos, like I said, we did everything. I picked up everything right away. I think I was only training for 6 months before I got put into a battle royal on that part, which was with DWO.
Nice.
And then 2 months later down the road, I had my first singles match out in Las Cruces against El Ligro, which is one of Mexico's and El Paso's fan favorite wrestlers, and I won my first match.
Really?
Great victory. I finished him off with one of my first finishers, the Atomic Bomb. It's where you do a loser. So let me explain a loser to you.
Please.
It's a terrible name. It's like a gainer. Everyone knows what a gainer is on that, but a loser is going to be the opposite way. So you're still going to be doing a front flip. So you're on the top turnbuckle. You shoot yourself outwards and then do a front flip. Instead of a gainer, shoot yourself outwards and doing a backflip. So it's a loser. But that was my first finisher. But I messed up a lot of people with that move. Like I said, I'm 205. I've gone up to 225. My weight fluctuates like crazy. So a lot of weight going down on one person, can crack a couple of ribs here and there. So I decided to go a little bit more safe because I want people to work with me, not like, oh no, that
be afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's awesome, man. I think it's great that people know, as far as now that you're established. Obviously, you're half a tag team champions. You're doing quite well. You're still out there. You're training daily. And I think that's another thing people have a misconception about is, okay, once I learn the basics in 2 weeks, I don't have to train ever again. I've known it all.
And there's people like that, too. I've heard stories from Chaos where there's people like that would come way before I started training with him. People come for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then next thing I know, they're not coming anymore. And then they're bragging and going around saying they're trained by Chaos and doing backyard shows, and
Right.
it makes him look bad. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm glad that's never happened. Oh, wow, dude, I got distracted. There's a lady up there. Woo! That's the DeanMeister right there. She's going to be the next one. So back to what I was saying, yeah, and then they'll just go around and start saying that. So if that ever happened to me, I would definitely, throw a couple of knuckles here and there and go back to my old background first.
There you go. Well, dude, you've actually, like we mentioned, you've only been wrestling for a little bit now, but you're traveling a lot, man. I see it posted on your Facebook page. I mean, you go to Texas, you go to Arizona, you go... Where else have you wrestled, man? Have you had a favorite promotion that you've wrestled for?
Definitely with XCW, because I am one half of the Tag Team Champions over there. They're the ones that actually started my career. Definitely, they're the ones that gave me the shot. Oh, newcomer, let's see what he has. So
Yeah.
I definitely give XCW my big thanks. I had a lot of respect for XCW until they started pushing us down. And that's where the Devil's Rejects came in. Because we have these local talents, me, Chaos, and my boy Aiden Coate, which is from El Paso, coming and pulling all of our, everything, bro, sweat, doing our best, and they just kind of brush us off to the side. So that's
Okay.
where that group got formed, of the Devil's Rejects, because they stopped showing us respect when we were showing them all the respect, giving them our sweats and tears, and doing whatever they wanted us to do, and then they just brush us off. So now the Devil's Rejects are going to own XCW eventually, because we are run by the best manager ever, Robert Martinez.
So you guys are kind of trying to do a whole takeover of XCW, Devil's Rejects.
If that's what's going to happen for them to show us respect again, then definitely.
Wow.
We do have Awesome Andy and Mr. 505 himself, Danny G, going up against us this Sunday at the XCW show. I know we're going to get into that later. But, definitely once we knock them out, hopefully we'll get a little bit of respect, because those are their two top talents that they had. Former heavyweight champion Awesome Andy and former junior heavyweight champion Mr. 505 Danny G.
Wow.
So once we knock them out, maybe that can get us a little bit more respect there.
Well, that's a huge match, which again, yeah, we will get into here in a minute. I mean, it sounds like there's huge implications, not only for the tag belts, but possibly the future of XCW as well. Before we get into, obviously, the Devil's Rejects, what you guys are doing this coming Sunday, this weekend, the Deans of Chaos, man. Tag Team Champions. You guys have only been together for a brief period of time. Obviously, Chaos is your trainer. How did you guys decide to come together, form this unit, and decide to do your thing as a tag team?
Apparently you weren't listening, Adam, because I just got done telling you we weren't getting shown the respect we wanted to see.
Okay.
So me and Chaos got together, definitely, let's do this tag team stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
He is my trainer. So who knows each other best than trainer and Padawan? Come on, let's get real. Give all my respect to Chaos. So we decided to, let's go ahead and do this tag team thing. We recruited Aiden Coate from El Paso to be part of our group as well, with Mr. Martinez, our manager. So it was just more just to get that respect, and then we started demolishing people. We've had our ups and downs with losses and everything, but we've gotten to do a lot better apparently, because we are the current tag team champions. But that's just basically how it all started.
How long were you guys teaming together before you eventually won the big gold right here?
Probably about 2 to 3 months. We
Wow.
traveled together and all this and there, and then just decided to go for the gold, because if you're not in it to be a champion or to get where you want, then why are you in the business at all?
Okay. Well, you guys had a huge obstacle in front of you when you guys first went up for the belts, because you guys defeated Nick Tendo as well as Rocky Penasco Jr. How was that match? How was it when you finally got the 1, 2, 3 and became the first ever XCW Tag Team Champions?
Still gives me goosebumps to this
Does
day
it?
on that part, definitely. Me and Tendo were a tag team partner at once, and same with me and Rocky. We actually did a tag team partner together
wow.
too. I hate losing. I'm a poor sport, definitely. Me and Tendo lost, but it wasn't me that lost. It was Tendo that got the count on him.
Okay.
Me and Rocky lost. It wasn't me that lost. It was Rocky that got the count on him. So see the trend right there? Get rid of the people that suck and lose all the time, and get people that win. And that's how I became a current XCW champion, because I decided to go with someone I knew I can trust and knew that can win.
Wow.
Came with Chaos.
Weren't you at all worried, having teamed previously with Tendo and Rocky, that they kind of knew you and...
Not at all, because Rocky has never beat me. Me and
Okay.
him had a match out in Florida. I made him tap.
Wow.
I got him into the Devil's Wings, which is one of my submissions I like to do. Both it's kind of like a crossface and an arm breaker all together. but without the arm on the face. For the cross face, it's just like the leg wrapped around the arm
Oh,
and
okay.
you hook the other arm.
Gotcha.
Definitely puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders, tapped out. A lot of respect to Rocky on that part. But, like I said, I want to be a winner, so I'm not going to be hanging out with people that aren't going to help me win. Same with Tendo. Definitely, I've trained with that guy and everything. And then Chaos and Tendo used to be called the Super Nintendo Tag Team Champions. Or not Tag Team Champions, sorry about that. Wannabe Tag Team Champions on that in Tendo's eyes. But, so it was more of a, we knew we had new moves, so they probably thought going into the match, oh, these guys wrestle like this. But me and Chaos, we were training probably 24/7 for this match, coming up with new moves, new ideas, and getting it to the part where they were never going to know what was coming next.
Nice. So you pretty much took the weak links from Super Nintendo, the weak link from your partnerships with Rocky and Tendo, put them together, obviously being you and Chaos, and formed the Deans of Chaos.
Exactly, and no one can beat us.
And obviously it paid off because there it is again.
Exactly, the beautiful gold right here.
Well, man, I think you're one of the very few talents that I know here in New Mexico that actually has a sponsor. You're sponsored by Fitness Solutions. How did that whole sponsorship come about? How does it pay off for you?
Yeah, definitely. Fitness Solutions is my sponsor. I want to give a big shout out to them. Thank you, Brian, for everything you have done on that, helping me get my gimmicks, my t-shirts, and also helping me get to where I need to be at with my traveling.
Nice.
Once again, big thanks out to my sponsor, Fitness Solutions. And I don't know if there's any other independent wrestlers that have a sponsor, not even on the East Coast or the West Coast, or even up closer to Canada. But definitely, dude, Brian's his name. He's a personal trainer, and one day he's just like asking, he's all, I see you here at the gym all the time. What do you do? I see you just mat wrestle sometimes in the wintertime. We come into the gym and do a lot of mat wrestling as well, just to stay in shape. And he goes, what do you do? So I told him, what me and Chaos do. And we just went from there. He asked if there's any sponsorships. And I told him, I was like, yeah, you definitely do sponsors. Coming from that background of the MMA, that's what you mostly work for too, definitely go for. So that's what I did. I brought some of that background into my wrestling.
Nice.
Got my sponsorship. He helps pay for my t-shirts, like I said, for traveling. Big thanks on that part. Definitely coming out with new t-shirts, like I threw on that New Mexico website on Facebook, that I only has certain select few t-shirts left, but making some new ones. Design still in the product right now, but going from there.
Awesome, man. And so, I mean, it wasn't something that you were searching for as far as a sponsor. They came to you.
Exactly. That's what's cool about being Ryan Dean, the one and only DeanMeister, is people come to me.
There you go. So you're like the Brock Lesnar of New Mexico.
No Brock Lesnar, bro. No Brock Lesnar. That guy screams like a girl. I know how to scream.
Fair enough, man. Well, dude, again, let's just go to the XCW show that's coming up tomorrow, this Sunday. It seems like a lot of people from the New Mexico fan base are going to be going. It is tomorrow, Father's Day, starting at 6 p.m., just $10. It is in El Paso. Stacked card, man. Such great talent going in. Of course, one of the highlighted matches, you guys are defending the tag team titles. Again, you said it's a huge, not only for the tag team titles, but kind of the whole XCW promotion is kind of at stake in this match. I know you guys have been training. Obviously, you guys train 5 days a week for this. How ready are you and Chaos for this match tomorrow night?
I can't speak on Chaos' behalf just because, he's not here. But I know he's definitely ready. Me, personally, I'm 1,000% ready. I've been ready since last week, and I've been ready since today. I'll be ready tomorrow. I've been ready. I've wrestled Danny G, and I've also wrestled Awesome Andy in the past. So, definitely great match that we had. I came victorious off of that match. Got the victory 1, 2, 3. So I'm ready. I don't want to go into too cocky because
who you're facing. Of course.
Exactly. Like I said, former heavyweight champion, former junior heavyweight champion. Two big people that XCW has.
Yeah.
Going against the two new top talents that is rising, Deans of Chaos. So I'm definitely ready. I just hope they're ready because I don't want to hear any excuses from them when we win.
So it's a good example of the past versus the future in this match.
Definitely.
So a lot on stake and at stake in this show. In that match alone, plus some great Arizona talent's gonna be there. I know Shadow Fox has a huge match this month. He's taking on Paul London. He's defending his Super Junior Heavyweight title from XCW. I know last month you guys had Deuce from the former tag team Deuce and Domino in WWE. How was it having Deuce Nuka at that show?
I thought I brought in a lot of people, definitely having Deuce. He's a really nice guy. Show a lot of respect for him now before I did when he first went in.
Okay.
You know, I thought he was just another guy trying to come in and push us talents off for him in the reason of the Devil's Rejects. No respect. They'd rather bring in these guys from a different state, pay big bucks for them to come in when you have the local talent that are putting in their sweat and tears and will do anything for them. I did get a minor concussion from Mr. Deuce.
Did you?
Yeah, the Devil's Rejects went out and interfered. We definitely were trying to show Deuce that we are the strong ones. And then next thing I know, Deuce is picking me up and slamming me onto the ground. Had a minor concussion, but you know, it comes with the job, definitely.
Was that your first kind of real injury?
I broken my big toe.
Oh no.
And yeah, that was kind of weak if you ask me. I was like, no, my toe, but. No, there's been plenty of other injuries,
really?
But definitely one of the bigger ones right there, just because I already have a bad memory. So now I have a minor concussion. That didn't help at all.
Well, again, Paul London's going to be at this show tomorrow. Former WWE Tag Team Champion, former Cruiserweight Champion. He's been in ROH, TNA. How is it for you guys going to this show knowing that Paul London's going to be performing at the exact same show, in the exact same arena as you guys?
Probably for everybody else, they're acting like little childs, entering them like, Paul London, yeah. Deans of Chaos doesn't really care.
Okay.
Devil's Rejects don't care. We're there defending the gold. I care less about Paul London right now. No disrespect to the guy, but I'm putting my title on the line. I don't need to be thinking about that guy. I don't care if he beats Shadow Fox or if Shadow Fox beats him. My goal right now is to beat Awesome Andy and Danny G. And same with Aiden Colt. He doesn't care that Paul London's going. He's in a number one contender match. The scramble winner gets to go up against the heavyweight champion. So he has his own priorities. I have Chaos. I know for a fact he cares less as well because he has the same mindset as me. We definitely, you know, we got a lot on our hands right now. So it's cool. He's coming in. The fans are going to love it. Bring more girls in for Ryan Dean to see and maybe get some more DeanMeisters on his side. But other than that, definitely it's cool, but that's my least concern right now. You know, that's awesome that XCW did get Paul London.
Yeah.
A lot of respect, but I have more stuff on my plate right now to worry about Shadow Fox versus Paul London.
All right, that's fair enough, man. Fair enough. With especially how important this match is, I don't blame you, man. We got some fan questions for you, of course, coming from Abron, the leader.
Do you know if he's a DeanMeister or just a fan?
I'm pretty sure he is. No, he's a DeanMeister.
Okay, as long as if they're a DeanMeister fan, I'll answer the questions. If they're just, let's ask a question to a wrestler, I'm not going to answer their question.
Well, let me cancel some of these out there.
All right.
Just Abron is a DeanMeister.
Okay.
So let's go with the first question. Obviously, every month on the New Mexico fan page on Facebook, we crown a wrestler of the month. You won it last month. Again, being one of the newer guys that some people just aren't really familiar with, but now that's obviously changed with today's episode of Ring Awareness. How was it winning that honor?
It was very awesome. I didn't even know I was getting nominated.
Oh yeah.
On that part, so it was really cool to get the message. Like I said, we were talking a little bit earlier when I was running late. I get messages all the time, but I never check my Facebook messages. It's one of those rare things. I'm like, I'm not going to respond to you. I learned the hard way. If you respond to some people, they just don't leave you alone.
They won't stop.
Unless if it's a hot girl, then I'll definitely be responding, throwing that address out there and everything on that part. But, you know, it was a great honor to win that, especially since I am one of the newer upcomers on that part. So, once again, I put it on my questionnaire. Thank you for the fans that voted for me. And the ones that didn't vote for me, you guys don't know who's good and who's not. You're over there still crying about The Undertaker losing at WrestleMania. Because Paul Heyman is the 1 in 21 in 1.
There you go. Well, he's got another question because he's a DeanMeister. Let's let him ask another one.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Have you ever had a bad fan experience being to any show?
I've had one that it probably could have been bad for them, but funny for me.
Okay.
It was out in Midland, Texas. Definitely a ladies' man. So any cute girl in the audience, I'm gonna go over there, give them a kiss on the cheek, and you know if they turn their cheek and it goes to the lips, that's not my fault. But there's this one lady, she definitely wanted to touch the DeanMeister's biceps. So you know I said okay, of course, but her husband was right there. Got a little jealous. He said he was gonna throw water on me. I'm not the Wicked Witch from the West, man. I ain't gonna melt. So what I told him is to go ahead and throw the water on me. So what did that guy do? He threw the water on me. What I did, I turned around on him. I grabbed his wife's hand and let her rub the water into my body.
Wow.
bad experience for him, great experience for me, and one of the Mrs. DeanMeisters there.
There you go. Well, that was quite a story. And one thing I actually totally forgot to bring up, something you brought up, is you're actually in a process. You're getting ready to record a documentary, correct?
Definitely going to be doing not too much talking about it right now because it's still in the makings there,
Okay.
Adam. But definitely I am recording a documentary, kind of like the life behind independent wrestling with the guys I travel with. So
Okay.
it's kind of like a knockoff of the Wrestling Road Diaries, but it's going to be better because I'm in it.
There you go.
So definitely we're going to see how that goes, and we'll go from there.
For those who don't know what Wrestling Road Diaries is, can you just briefly explain kind of what that was?
Yeah, it was with Colt Cabana and Brian Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan. It was before it was once he signed with WWE, he had 10 days left, so they decided to record their last 10 days together and went from there.
Wow. So you're gonna be filming some of the footage for this weekend, obviously going up to the XCW show in El Paso, right?
Definitely, we're going to be showing, might be showing the match.
Oh wow.
So go from there. It might get put into the DVD. Kind of just show me in Chaos hanging out. Just training. Definitely showing the training, how hard and how our life really is. A lot of people think, oh, these guys just travel on the weekends. They have an easy life. No, it's a very, very hard. It's away from family. I know Chaos has his girlfriend, fiance, wife. I forget what she is. Sorry there, Mrs. Chaos. Don't kill me on that. But I also know he has the children as well. So he's leaving his family behind to fulfill his dream. Lucky for me, I'm single there, ladies. I am single. Let me repeat that. The DeanMeister is single. And so I don't have to worry about leaving anyone behind. But I do have my family and all that, especially with my grandmother, my grandfather, they're a big part of my life. So,
nice.
Having to travel and them being worried is definitely hard on my part. So, and traveling every weekend or every other weekend, it's going to be definitely showing a different side of us. Kind of not what you see in the ring, but what you see everywhere else.
I think that's something that's needed for sure. Again, just talking about misconceptions of wrestling, I think that would open up a lot of eyes. So I'm definitely interested to see how that comes out for you guys. I mean, you've already done so much in your brief time in the wrestling world. What's next for Ryan Dean?
Well, more shows, of course. Definitely try to get booked on more shows. Try to start doing more tryouts now.
Okay.
I'm not going to do any name drops, but definitely try to do tryouts for the bigger companies to get my name out there even further towards the East Coast area and see how that goes and see where it takes me from there.
So that's your ultimate goal, obviously, going East wrestling.
East Coast or to the great country, Japan.
Yeah.
Definitely want to get to Japan with my wrestling. I know that there's been some independent wrestlers that I know personally that have gone there and told me it's been a great experience, and definitely want to get there as well.
Heck yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I learned so much about you, man. We got some more time left here on the show. Why don't we talk about some WWE happenings? Obviously, this last weekend was a huge Rio Rancho show here in New Mexico. They, of course, went to Las Cruces, and then they were here in Rio Rancho on last Sunday. Were you at the show?
I was sadly at the show. No, not sadly, just kidding there. I was actually at the show, yes. I was in the area where the Shield got a walkout, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
So I was probably maybe like 2 feet away from Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, so that was...
Oh, yeah.
I went with my dad, so he was more excited than I was, but,
first off, I saw a lot of you guys out there, man. I saw Abron, I saw Maria, I saw Karen, I saw Angela, Francisco I met. It was nice meeting all you guys.
Not to cut you off right there, but I saw all you little New Mexico fan people. I don't know what you guys call yourselves yet.
Posse.
You guys should be called the DeanMeisters. Just saying. But you guys all got that group picture, but you did not invite the Deans of Chaos.
Were you offended?
I was offended. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Okay.
Come on, Adam. Let's get real. I was very offended. You think that since they're such big fans, they would definitely want a picture with the Deans of Chaos. And they didn't even ask. If maybe I would have said no, but the thought is they didn't even ask.
That is pretty rude.
Messed up. So right now I'm very hurt with you guys, besides one of my boys that is the DeanMeister.
Abron.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice seeing you guys there. I got a funny story just with the Shield's entrance. So we're probably sitting not too far from you, man. It was the last match before that Shield main event. It was Zack Ryder and Bo Dallas, and there were some kids sitting at the end of the stairs where the Shield was gonna be coming out, and this guy told the kids to beat it, And so right away I clicked. I'm like, Shield's coming out this way. And everybody in my section kind of like realized the exact same thing. So everybody starts losing their shit before that Bo Dallas and Zack Ryder match is even over. So everybody's looking up, waiting for the Shield to come out. There was kids like trying to crawl over me and my fiance, man. And I had to stand up because kids were just pushing at me. Yeah, I literally marked out for the Shield's entrance.
It's okay. I didn't mark out because, you know, I'm a wrestler.
You're professional.
Yeah, I'm professional. You know, these are just like my brothers on the other side.
Right.
But I was in the same area. Once I heard security tell us, you know, back up, I clicked as well. I was like, oh, the Shield's coming out from here.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I had this little kid trying to crawl underneath my legs.
That's happened to me.
I kind of felt like a woman giving birth to a poor little black kid. So I was like, oh, great. I'm the father of you. But I let the little kids have their fun. You know, I let them get through because I remember being a kid when my dad used to take me to the pit and tingling and all that. I was one of the little kids that was running and wanted to touch their hand or take a picture. So I kind of just backed up on the side and just let them through. I still got my pictures, don't get me wrong, but...
Of course.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy the show as a whole? What did you think about the show? Again, WWE comes maybe once a year here.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Definitely a big fan of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Enjoyed his match. Also a big fan of Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Been a woo guy since the beginning. So great matches on that part. The match I was mostly impressed with was the Divas match.
Yeah.
That triple threat was a great match. I enjoyed every second of it, especially with the popcorn scene. Made me want to go buy popcorn. Lisa Fox did some amazing marketing with that popcorn there.
How did you like? I didn't even click at the very end when they brought those girls in the ring.
I thought it was a lot of respect there for the Ultimate Warrior's daughters coming into the ring. At first, I kept seeing everyone going to that area and giving them free stuff. And I was like, who are those girls? And maybe they're, you know, Make-A-Wish. And then I noticed once they got put into the ring that it was the Warriors' daughters. So I thought that was pretty cool that, you know, since Warriors from Santa Fe on that part, a lot of respect there. And I don't think a lot of the other fans knew that who they were, but definitely big wrestling fans did know. So
yeah, I didn't even click. Like, I knew when they were in the ring, I was like, dude, I know those girls from somewhere. And all of a sudden, I looked over at the mom who was sitting there in front row, and I was like, oh.
Maybe she might need to be a DeanMeister. She is a widow now. Who knows? Who knows? What's
that was your opportunity.
True. Dang it.
But it was awesome, man. Classy moment by WWE. I would agree with the Divas match. I thought it was very good. I'm a huge fan of Natalya. Huge fan of Paige.
Big fan of Paige.
Yeah.
I heard she's bisexual or gay on that part. No, it doesn't bother me. Paige, call me. I can turn you the way that you need to be on the dark side.
The DeanMeister side.
The DeanMeister side.
Overall, it's a good show. I was disappointed in the Fatal 4-Way with Cesaro, Kofi, Swagger, and Sandow. I thought that was
that match happened?
It was like a 5-minute match. I was like, what?
Yeah, I remember briefly part of that match. Kofi Kingston did great. My dad's a big Kofi Kingston fan, so I was kind of like not really paying attention to the match, but on the side of my head, I kept hearing boom, 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 and he almost hitting me every time when he was doing it. I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. Thanks.
That's awesome. So I know you said you're a huge Zack Ryder fan. How do you feel about him now kind of
being a jobber?
Yeah.
He's still in the business. He's still doing what he loves. It's cool. I wish I could see him more on TV time.
Right.
But he's still doing what we love. He got to where he wanted to be at, and he's still getting his paycheck. So that's just his job. Some of us, you know, when you get the job that you want, you're just, you know, you're in a position where you might not like it, or other people might not think it's good enough, aka family saying you can do better.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's still living his dream, so that's awesome for him as long as he's still doing his stuff. I'm not too sure if he's still doing his internet sensation on the YouTube channel or anything like that, but he kind of stopped on that as well, I guess.
Yeah, not doing that anymore. But, I mean, he's on TV pretty much, not maybe weekly, but still, I mean, every time he comes out, he got a pretty good pop when he came out.
Everybody still loves him.
Yeah.
When you see him come on TV, you know he's just going to job.
Yeah.
You can probably go to the bathroom and come back to your living room, and the match will be over by then.
Right. Or he doesn't get a TV entrance. You're like, oh, Zack Ryder's losing to Rusev, or Zack Ryder's losing to Bo Dallas, or
right, Bo Dallas. Believe.
You're not a believer?
I am not a believer. I am not. Just because he does the Tebowing, and I'm a big fan of Tim Tebow. Just you know, being from Florida, big Gator fan as well. I see Bo Dallas doing the Tebowing as a disrespect to a man that actually does follow Christ on that part. So don't like you, Bo Dallas.
There you go. A lot of releases from WWE this week. I'm just gonna run through the names. Give me an opinion, what you think about them personally. Drew McIntyre.
Coming in, Drew McIntyre was supposed to be the next big thing.
The chosen one.
The chosen one. He got put into 3MB, which I think 3MB is a hilarious group to watch.
Right.
But he became a jobber. He's a great wrestler, but it's what WWE didn't do with him, or maybe he couldn't fulfill what WWE wanted him to do.
Right. Total shock for that. Obviously, his 3MB partner, Jinder Mahal.
Never liked the dude.
Really?
Yeah, I was never a big fan of him.
I liked the gimmick before he got on 3MB, but yeah, 3MB was just comedy, like Santino is, like Adam Rose is. Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal.
Very sad to hear him getting released on that part, but you gotta do what's right for business.
Yeah, I mean he's been injured for the last 2 years, so pretty much had a free pass.
Right.
I mean it does suck. I think he was a huge talent for them to get rid of. I know the one that you said you were totally surprised about, Theodore Long.
Definitely surprised on that, just because how long he's been in with the business.
Yeah.
Being from a referee to a general manager, thought they might just keep him something to do in the background, helping out with talent or something later on.
Exactly. I think there should have been a role for him somewhere. Maybe he just wants to be done. Oksana, the one diva that was released, can she be a future DeanMeister?
She is a future DeanMeister. Definitely have a thing for her as well. I think I have a thing for any girl that's gorgeous on that part, but definitely I wasn't shocked there. They weren't really using her that much.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad to see someone that good looking get released.
Yeah, I don't think she was that good, man. She was very pretty, but as far as the ring, I actually watched the highlights of her match from SmackDown, which was 2 days before she got axed, and it just wasn't good. Another surprise for me was Brodus Clay getting the axe.
Not a surprise to me at all on that part. They kind of went away with the whole Brodus Clay and
Funkasaurus.
Yeah,
tons
exactly
of fun thing.
on that. And then they started putting him in NXT.
Yeah.
And he was like doing this whole new character, which just wasn't him on that part. So I wasn't really shocked.
Do you think they ruined him? Because when he first came in, he was Del Rio's bodyguard. He was just a big, brute dude, And then they did the Funkasaurus, which was just a comedy act. Do you think they ruined the character?
No, I thought it was very great for the children. Got to remember this is the PG era, so
True.
It's mostly about the kids. So,
right.
You got your Santino, which entertains the kids. You got to have other people entertaining the kids as well.
That's
I
true.
thought it was great on that part. And, probably saw a lot of gimmicks and everything there, too.
Yeah.
And he did great with the character. Great.
Right.
Just kind of sad to see, like you said, you live to want to be there, and then
Right.
you just kind of get released. But you got to do what you got to do to keep your job.
Yeah, exactly. We also had Yoshi Tatsu. Again, he didn't really do too much.
Nah, he's been in wrestling I don't know how long. I remember being younger, watching him and all that.
Yeah.
He might be going back to Japan, who knows.
Right.
Definitely, but you didn't really see him, so it wasn't really that big of a shocker.
Yeah. Camacho, who is the son of Haku Meng. Again, he was kind of with Hunico. And once Hunico became Sin Cara, he was on NXT for a little bit. Hasn't really done much. Kurt Hawkins, another one, former tag team champion, with Zack Ryder.
Right.
Former Major Brother.
You really wasn't really seeing him do that much either,
Yeah. Possibly the biggest surprise I know the wrestling community is still reeling from was the release of JTG. OMG. I can't believe it. A former Crime Time member.
Who?
Brooklyn.
Right. Nah, and, like I said, it's a job.
Yeah.
You got to do what's right for business. They just got done releasing like a dozen or
it was about a dozen, right? Yeah.
That is a great opportunity for more people to get brought up into it. So
Yeah.
everyone that's crying about it, oh, boo hoo hoo, get over it. You're going to see future talent come up that's going to be 10 times better or might get released later on in the years too.
Yeah, exactly. Now you have guys. Now they have room to bring in some more NXT guys, and NXT they can bring in some more guys.
Exactly.
So it's a prime opportunity, man. I think the indie scene's really popping, and it's a good opportunity for yourself and everybody else out there to get noticed, get recognized, and who knows what may happen. Really quickly, of course, the other big news coming out this week from WWE: Daniel Bryan finally gets stripped of the WWE title after weeks of it being teased that he was going to have to lose the belt or get rid of the belt due to his injury. I mean, do you think it's going to affect his momentum? He had huge momentum for WrestleMania, and now he just drops the belt.
it doesn't come to a shocker to me, especially going through your neck surgery and how important it is to make sure you heal proper before you get back in there. You don't want to get re-injured. So definitely think that was the right call. You know, people are probably crying about that as well.
Myself.
But I'm a big Daniel Bryan fan as well, so don't worry. But no, definitely think it was the right call because he needs to heal. Definitely, especially with everything that's been happening in his life, not just getting married, but his father passing away like a week after his wedding and all that.
Right, totally.
So, you know, got the neck surgery, the loss of his father, and being married. I think this is a perfect time for him just to relax, heal up, and just kind of enjoy life right now, and then come back later on and work your way back up. If not, hopefully the fans want to get him in there again and not forget him like we did with Batista, whatever his name is.
Do you think when he comes back, do you think he can have that exact same yes movement? How big as it was?
I think it's going to be bigger.
Wow, you think so?
I think so. Okay. Just because how many times have you seen Triple H leave? And then when he comes back, the crowd goes crazy.
Good point.
Definitely,
good point.
I think it's going to be the same thing with Daniel Bryan.
Nice. Well, Ryan Dean, it was a pleasure having you here today. If people want to contact you, social media, where can they reach you?
Definitely can reach me on Facebook, Twitter, Instant Ham, not Instagram, because all you Instant Ham people are always taking selfies like I, myself. Definitely can follow me on
Gimmick
there.
infringement.
Yeah, absolutely. You might see, ladies, you might see some pictures with my shirt off, maybe pants off. Just follow me. That's all I got to say.
Again, huge show in El Paso tomorrow, which I know you're getting ready to head down for. XCW, again, tag team title match is a huge show. 6 p.m., $10, just $10. Plus, it's going to be on online.
Live stream. Yeah, definitely want to bring that up. XCW's been doing this live stream, which is amazing. Internet pay-per-view. Definitely for the fans that, you know, have families that can't afford it.
Right.
Watch it on the internet. And if you're just being lazy because you don't want to drive, don't watch it. Not just kidding, still watch it. You need to see the DeanMeister, the Deans of Chaos, the Devil's Rejects conquer XCW this Sunday.
It could happen, or will it happen?
It will. Not could. It will. You better watch what you say, Adam. You're just a couple of feet away from me.
Ryan Dean again, man. Great having you on the show, man. A lot of new awareness on you. Best of luck to you tomorrow. Fans, thank you so much for listening to Ring Awareness. I will see you guys in a couple more weeks. Until then, this is Adam Merrick signing off.
Ladies, I'm free now. I'm leaving Adam finally. It stinks in here. It's hot in here. So I'm all sweaty. So hit me up, ladies, if you want to give me a massage. Later.